ASP is proud to announce the third annual Images of Distinction Image Competition. This is going to be held February 17th and 18th, 2023. And I'm here with Thom Rouse, one of the ASP Images of Distinction jurors. Hey, Thom, tell us a little bit about yourself.
A little bit?
Yeah, just do that.
Just a little bit. Okay. Yeah, I'm a photographer, an artist. I compete. I think the world of competition. I learn a great deal from it. I enjoy judging. I continue to enjoy judging. And that's what I have to say.
Okay. Tell
want
me
to be
about
part of
your
it.
tell me about your juror journey and why you became a judge.
Well, initially, I didn't really want to judge. I was encouraged to judge, and I thought, why? I have my own problems. Why would I want to deal with someone else's? But what I quickly found out is I've learned so much from judging. As much as I've learned from competition, I've learned from judging, because I get to look at a lot of works, and it's inspiring, very often very inspiring. And I learned from the images themselves, and I learned from other judges. And that's my thought about a really good outing with judging, is if I learned something, then it was certainly worth it to me, and I hope to the maker of the image.
I find it also makes you cement your thinking because you have to verbalize what you feel about an image negatively or positively to reinforce or whatever.
Well, right, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Put it forward.
Let's take impact out of the 12 elements and give me the one that jumps to your head first.
No impact. Somebody else called impact. I guess I would talk about presentation at the moment. And not that I think it's the most important element, but it's one I've been hearing a lot about lately. It's been on my mind lately. And first of all, I think the 12 elements, I don't think they're sacred or something like that, but they're talking points, and they give us a common language to talk about the images. If we were talking about Renaissance painting, we'd be saying sfumato and sprezzatura. Well, we're not judging Renaissance paintings, and we need a common language to discuss them. So presentation, though, on to the point. I digress.
Well, no, that digression is fine.
Well, good. I'm good at that. Presentation, I have been hearing a lot about that in competition lately, where judges reference the presentation. And here's my thoughts about presentation. It should not draw your attention. It's simply to contain the picture. It should always have less saturation and less texture than the image itself. White matte presentations are classic for fine artwork, but they will, nonetheless, for the wrong image, they will distract us from the image. So we don't want to be distracted by a presentation. We don't even want to notice the presentation. In fact, I would define that as a good presentation is one that you don't even notice. You're so involved with the image that you haven't even paid attention to presentation.
Cool.
It's simply a container.
What has image competition done for you, your work personally, and for your business?
Oh, well, I think competition is different depending on where you are in your career. And my suggestion is to people is that, one, that competition isn't necessarily creative. It builds craft. So when you're working on your degree, my thought is you do everything you can to make the judges happy. And you will learn a good deal of visual literacy. You'll learn to see things in your image that you just didn't see. And you learn so much from it. You'll learn a lot of craft. And as I say, do everything you can to make the judges happy and get a merit, and you will have learned something. You know, at the point that you do to get a degree, then it becomes time to become more creative and not think about what the judges are going to think. Don't shoot for it. Don't shoot for competition. You create images, and if you think they're good for competition, then put them in. But don't cast that judgment on your image before you even enter it. But again, it's different depending on where you are in your career.
Sweet. You already popped a couple of tips in there, but any specific tips that you want to share with perhaps a new person who's entering competition?
Hmm. Oh, many of them, but again, as I say, when you're new at it, they do everything you can to make the judges happy, and you will have learned. You'll learn to see a lot more in your images. And if I had to pick one issue that I think I see, particularly among newer entrants, is, and this is not an element. I think sometimes think it should be, but contrast and contrast management, and it falls under the heading of perhaps lighting or technique or one of the 12 elements. But contrast management, I think, is the one of the issues that I see coming up more and more often, or coming up frequently as a shortcoming in an image. This contrast management, bringing the contrast to the center of interest and diminishing it away from the away from the center of interest, and then not just smearing the same contrast over the entire image. We have the tools now that you can selectively place contrast and selectively diminish it. And yes, I'm sorry.
No, I was with you. I was moving my contrast around my image.
Yeah. And that's my thought. I think that's one of the most frequent shortcomings I see in an image. It could be a great image, but the contrast wasn't managed as well as it might have been.
Beauteous. Thanks to Thom Rouse, one of our ASP Images of Distinction jurors, coming up in February. Thanks, Thom.
Okay, thanks for having me.
Mark your calendars now and get ready for the ASP Images of Distinction.